They're fair-minded guys. They've been with here forever. They're my two favorites because they're the two longest. Well, Mike, I'll throw you in there. You've been there as long as they have, so you're just a little meaner sometimes. So maybe you're in third place, okay? But I'll give you, out of respect for your tenure, I'll give you third place.
Yeah.
You know what I heard?
What?
I heard Mike was third and all the rest of them were tied for first and second. That's kind of messed up from Steve. Mike, you're number one in our hearts. Is he coming on?
I think that's high praise for Preston.
I'm right here.
Oh.
I'm right here.
Good to hear you.
To you, man.
He said you mean sometime, Mike. I couldn't agree with Steve. Out of the entire press conference, that was the realest thing he said.
Well, you know something?
Nope.
I agreed with him too. Sometimes you just got to be mean. That's my job.
And before we get on to the Harbaugh situation, your reaction to Mike Tomlin stepping down from the Pittsburgh Steelers job?
Well, I asked that yesterday because my phone was blowing up.
Yeah.
You know, where all these people, Pittsburgh writers, just let me know what was going on, and that's why I asked Steve Bisciotti the question. I mean, is this guy a candidate? And I would hire him in a second because I love that feistiness. I love that fight, but I think he's going to take a year off.
Well, you got to give up draft picks for him as well because he's still under contract for 2 years.
Well, they can work that out. That contracts they're okay, but you can work things out like that. You can always do deals. But I get it, but I don't think he's going to be around. But I was stunned by that. Not totally like, oh, I'm overwhelmed, but I thought, hey, once they won the AFC North, they got to the playoffs, and I expected them to lose to the Texans. I know what they had, but the problem with him is that he still hasn't gotten a quarterback to replace Ben Roethlisberger, and that's where it all lies. And but I was surprised by that, and I thought he would hang around, but. Hey, there was some vicious stuff going around on him, you know, with some of the racism stuff going on up in there. Man, it got out. I saw some of the pictures. It got nasty.
I mean, if you're going to step back and take, like, you know, the 10,000-foot view of what's going on now, two most tenured coaches are available. Tomlin is a different situation because he can't, you know, jump right into coach, or he can, but then you go draft picks. What do you think happens here? Because I don't see anybody getting hired until these guys are off the market.
I agree with you. That's where I would go. I mean, Mike Tomlin was like 53 years old. I thought he was older than that.
No,
like 53. Man,
he's a year. I remember because he's a year younger than me. He's not
been looking older though.
Yeah, but that happens to a lot of coaches.
Yeah,
like
presidents, coaches and presidents. Yep.
I don't get to say that about anyone.
Right.
But man, he's still got some mileage on the tires you can get off of him.
Yeah.
John, I like what Bisciotti said yesterday. He goes, he has to go to a place where there's a quarterback. That's huge. You know, you got to have that young quarterback in line and ready to go.
Sounds like the Giants.
And yeah, Giants, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Has worked down there, so they got guys in place. But if those were the teams that I was looking at, if I was Harbaugh, that's where I would go and say, nah, I don't have to find a quarterback. I got him there.
One of the things that stood out to me the most about what Bisciotti said, and it made me think that Kevin Stefanski might be the guy here, is when he started talking about a retread coach that doesn't have a great winning record. I mean, there's a couple of them out there. But he's the one more so, and I like Mike McDaniel as well, but I'd rather have him as an offensive coordinator. But when you look at those guys and calling them retreads now, sometimes it is about your first opportunity. Would you have any issue with them grabbing a coach that has a losing record?
Yeah. I want to have that pedigree. I want to see something there where he's won and turned things around before. And it has happened. He's got a couple offensive coordinators that they're looking at that are on the list. Those are the guys I would take a look at. And, you know, he's always went and got a young guy. I mean, even when he hired John Harbaugh was a young dude, and he was a special teams coach. That's what I would look at. I'm not looking at any retreads, except for Schwartzy up in Cleveland. So I'm a big Jim Schwartz fan. I've known him for a long time, since he was a grad assistant down at the University of Maryland. I like what he does.
I do too, but what about the record?
Well, the thing is, he went to Detroit. Mm-hmm. That's like with Stefanowski. You got to say that about Cleveland also, right?
Yeah, you do. New York. I mean, Schwartz he gets to Detroit. He has a losing record. Stefanski in Cleveland. Salah in New York with the Jets. They all have losing records.
Yeah, I would take that as an option, but I still want to go to a place. I mean, I want to bring in a coach that's proven he's turned offenses around or defenses around, and he has fire in him. And that's what I'm looking at. And who knows what the Ravens may find or who they may get, but that's what I look at. And I'm not looking for any retread coaches, no.
There he is, Mike Preston. Mike, thanks a lot for your time, my friend. I'm sure, I think maybe within a week or so, we'll be calling you back about the new coach.
Yes, you will.
I hope so.
It's about that time frame. It should be in that time frame. All right, guys. Thanks, man.
Thanks, man.
See you, Mike.
410-583-1057. Let's go to Baltimore and get Chris. What's up, Chris?
Hey, good morning, guys. Listening to you about Eric DeCosta. And let's look back, case in point, with the game that we lost against Pittsburgh when we had to rotate the offensive line. The right guard, I don't know, he's a backup guy. Then he had to play left guard. We didn't even have another player to play left guard. I think DeCosta has not drafted well at all. And really the players that are the performers are your third, fourth, and fifth rounders that step up. Over the decades that the Ravens have been around, you think about some of the players like Marshall Yanda, Hall of Famer. Wasn't he a third-round pick? These are the guys that are your bread and butter, not your first round. I mean, a dummy, honestly, could pick a first round and not mess that up. I mean, Zay, it was perfect.
There's a lot of teams that don't.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Let's go. How about Nate Wiggins, Zay Flowers, Kyle Hamilton, Rashad Bateman? I mean, these guys are all players. I don't quite get that. Like,
even if you go back just 1 year, I mean, you've got 1, 2,
Linderbaum.
3,
I mean, there's
4.
more. I mean,
he got hurt 5, 6.
Yeah.
There's 6 guys from a draft class in 2024 that are playing premier minutes for this team.
And because you had to move a lineman from one spot to the other, again, how much football do you watch? That happens all the time. This is what Steve Bisciotti had to say about Eric DeCosta.
You know, the hits and misses in this business, I think you have to average them out. I think Eric's one of the best GMs in the league. And so I think he's batting 800. I'm just making up a number for you, but I'm not going to look at Eric's 200 whiffs. I'll look at his 800 singles and doubles and home runs. You know, that to me, that's fair. I'm very, very pleased with Eric. I know that Eric has been very, very introspective about his failures and how they contributed to our dear friend being shown the door. And so nobody's harder on himself than Eric. So I think I can leave him alone for a while and focus on what we've got here with an empty chair.
just going through these classes with him. 22 class. Kyle Hamilton, Tyler Linderbaum, Jordan Stout, Isaiah Likely, Charlie Cole. They're all. This is one class, and they're pretty much all like this. Like, what are people? This is like I don't get what people are talking about.